Somaliland is located in the Horn of East Africa. This country still bears the physical and mental scars caused by a savage civil war 25 years ago. Stricken with limited resources and restricted assistance from the outside world, this unrecognised state suffers from poor health, education and economic development. The majority of the people in Somaliland live in dire poverty and battle with post-war depression, high unemployment, lack of basic services and recurrent droughts due to the climate change. The stress of daily life has caused a drastic increase in mental illness among the Somaliland population. Dr. Abdirahman, who is a mental illness doctor in Somaliland, states that mental illness is extremely high in Somaliland. He says, I would say it has to be of one of the highest rates in the world. Before the Civil War, people lived normal lives. Many were working, studying, or were married. But after the war, they lost everything. This short film explores the plight of those living with mental illness in Somaliland. Two members of the Somaliland Mental Health Organisation, Mr. Nasser Isa, who is the chairman, and Mr. Adam Youssef, who is the treasurer, travelled to Somaliland in the summer of 2014 in order to document and highlight the needs of those suffering from mental health in Somaliland. They were overwhelmed by the inadequate services provided and the extremely poor condition many were living in. One of the cities in Borome City and the psychiatrist unit, they were met by a Dr. Abdirahman Haji Ali, who has been running this unit since it became operational 3 years ago. Dr. Abdirahman states this unit has been open for 3 years, and now this is the only hospital that cares for mental health patients in the entire city. Borome City currently treats more than 500 patients in and around Borome and pays more than 2,000 home visits. Faduma Dahir states we have patients that get angry. We have patients that are aggressive and attack staff, patients that refuse to eat food and lose weight, some that are addicted to art. Many in the community believe all mental illness is from evil spirits, so it takes some time to convince families that patients are in need of medical treatment. Dr. Abdirahman explains the pressure they are under. With limited space, manpower and medication, they are incapable of reaching out to those that need it most. He says they currently treat about 500 patients in and around Borome. There are outpatients like Mumin, who has been receiving treatment for the last 2 months. His condition has improved dramatically, and he thanks the doctors and the nurses for taking good care of him. Mumin Mohammed states, I have been in hospital for 2 months now. Before I came in, I was very sick. I used to run away. I was very aggressive. But after being taken in by this hospital and given medication, I am now very calm. I am extremely happy. The staff have looked after me very well, and they gave me clothes, and I would like to thank them dearly. But however, for 19-year-old Ubah Ali, it is a completely different story. Both her parents suffer from mental illness. She could not bear to face the cameras today because of her plight and an unbearable situation. Mr. Nasser Isa spoke for her. He says, we are with Ubah now, having to provide 24-hour care to her sick parents. Ubah has never experienced what it's like to be a child. She should be in school or working like her peers. Look around. This is the condition they live in. Gabela City Mental Hospital was opened in 2011 and is run by a local group called Samakal. Kaisa Haji Musa states this hospital was built when we realized the high level of mental illness in the region. There are those sleeping on the streets and those with no family to care for them. The resources are extremely limited and are not enough to care for those that are in need. We are trying our best to help them all. Dr. Dega Umar, while the need is becoming greater, our facilities are not enough to withhold the demand. In 2011, there were 2 to 3 admissions per week, and now it is 4 or 5 admissions per day. Every day the numbers are doubling, tripling. Our resources are overstretched, and we cannot keep up. Mumin Daher is a mother of 5, and 4 of them suffer from mental illness. Her situation is dire. She has no access to medical care for her children and has no family support whatsoever. Mumin Daher states, I can barely afford food, let alone medication, for all of them. All 4 of my children are ill. I have no strength. I have no will to carry on. Similarly, Amina Aden is the sole carer for her brother, who has been suffering from a mental illness for over 34 years. Amina is poor and does not have the means to access to medical assistance for her brother. Ahmed O. Aden is suffering from post-traumatic depression. After the war, he has been chained in his home for more than 20 years and as a result is unable to walk. This young man has been sick for many years now. He has no one to care for him and has been locked up in chains, unable to walk or even go to the toilet. There are many people like Ahmed who desperately need our help before it is too late. In Hargeisa city, the capital city of Somaliland, the mental health unit is part of the general hospital. Before Somaliland Mental Health Organization built the unit kitchen, there were no areas available to prepare food for the patients. But now, patients are provided with wholesome food every day. This would not have been possible without the help of the Hayat Foundation and the Nastecha organization.
runtii waxaan ka wada shaqeynaa arrimahan la xiriira ama ku tacalluqa xanuunada dhimirka
This unit specializes in caring for those that suffer from mental illness. We cannot thank Somaliland Mental Health Organization along with Nasteqa for their help and their assistance enough. In Bur'a, the second capital city, the doctor at Mandaya Mental Health Hospital told Nasser and Adam that they are completely overwhelmed and are at breaking point because they serve two other regions, Sanag and Sul, where there is no mental health services and facilities. 80,000 patients helps over.
runtii magaalada Burco waa magaalo madaxa labaad ee Somaliland waxay capacity badan bay leedahay oo dad badan bay qaadaa
Dr. Abdel Nasser Mohammed from Bur'a states Bur'a is the second largest city in Somaliland, so it is highly populated. I estimate that 10 to 15% of the population suffer from some form of mental illness. It is vitally important to make it clear that mental illness is complex. There are many people who go about their day-to-day lives but are not mentally fit, and there are others that are extremely violent. All these people need our help and support. Amina has 3 siblings, all of which suffer from a mental illness. Thankfully, nurses from Mandaya Hospital take medication to her home and conduct regular checkups. Amina Heibi states, I have 3 siblings. One is 18 years of age. The others are 22 and 24 years of age. 2 of them have been sick for 13 years, and the other has been sick for 3 years. It is difficult to express the pain and hardship that people with mental illness go through. There is an extreme need in providing medication and sufficient health care. That is why Somaliland Mental Health Support is trying to reach those that are hardest hit. We acknowledge that much needs to be done in order to provide a safe space to those suffering from mental illness. We know that we cannot do this alone. Therefore, with the assistance from the government and other charities and the general public, we can make a difference. We plan to assist mental health units in all regions of Somaliland, build units in Sul and Sanag, which currently do not have any facilities. We plan to assist and train doctors and provide clothes, food and medication to those that need it most.
meelo dadka lagu daaweeyo oo dhakhtar aanay ka jirin sida Sool iyo Sanaag oo kale oo ognahay imika aan goobo caafimaad oo gaar ahaan dhimirkii inayna ka jirin insha Allah inaanu labada gobolba si gaar ah aan uga sameeyno insha Allah mustaqbalka dhow ayaanu rajaynaynaa
meelaha ugu sii waaweyn wax ka jiraan waalida iyaba ugu sii daran.
One of the biggest problems in Somaliland is in mental health. There are people who roam the streets who have no one, and there are families that do not know what to do, where to take them, how to deal with them people. The people of Somaliland need your help.